Hello everyone, I'm Kenny Milch alongside my broadcast partner Norma Gomez, and we are coming to you from downtown San Mateo getting set for the parade. And I believe, Norma, we just have the flyby going off to kick things here in San Mateo.
I am so excited to be here. I'm the former city clerk of the city of San Mateo, and I served in that capacity for 20 years, and one of the most blessed things that I was able to do was serve as liaison to the adopted company, which is based out of Fort Campbell and the city of San Mateo. And I look forward to sharing many stories during this parade.
And we look forward to hearing them. It's going to be a great afternoon here in that 25th Infantry Division of the UH-1H Huey helicopter that just flew by. The veteran of the Vietnam War, and the patches on the skin is proof. Flew the 25th Infantry as a symbol of the Vietnam War, 1967 to 1969, especially for those that rode one into and out of battle. Chief Pilot Ray Murphy served as a Huey pilot in the 25th Infantry Division during the first of two tours, December of 67 to November of 68. And that was very special. We were able to catch that with our MCTV cameras, and what a great way to kick off the parade today.
I agree. The city of San Mateo never ceases to amaze me. They took such a courageous stand in 1968 by adopting this unit, and now this parade continues to add to their history of honoring the troops.
Amongst the helicopter flyby, there may be another flyby that will treat us this afternoon. And, you know, there's going to be 60 entrants. What a great shot. Should be up to 60 entries today, including military vehicles and, of course, our special veteran officers who have served our great country, the United States of America.
And this event today was coordinated by a committee made up of the city organization and many community organizations. The committee was led by the now city clerk, Patrice Olds, and my hats off to all of the committee members for all of the outstanding activities that they have coordinated for everyone, and especially for the troops this weekend.
Walking around this morning, you can feel the festive atmosphere amongst the crowd and all the staff here at San Mateo, and the high energy level of this great event and the celebration of our veterans is very high today.
Yes, I can feel it. It's just there's excitement in the air.
We're going to pause here for a minute. I think they just waved at you, Norma. Nonetheless, the 101st Airborne Division have recently returned from a 12-month tour of duty in Afghanistan. They are currently spending much-deserved time with their friends, family, and, of course, their loved ones.
I have so many fond memories of many activities during all of the times that they were deployed. I was able to visit Fort Campbell 4 times, and one of the things that struck me as soon as I arrived was how young the troops were. For some reason, I thought they would be older, but they were just young boys.
San Mateo is proud of the overwhelming support received from city employees in the community. This display of support has served to sustain and strengthen the relationship, which began on March 4th, 1968, with the original unit, and they were adopted by the San Mateo City Council. So a very special day for the city of San Mateo as well as our veterans.
Yes, it is. When I first heard the story about 20 years ago, I was smitten and converted, and I acquired this passion, and at that moment I decided I would never stop until everyone in San Mateo knew the story, because it still amazes me that there are a lot of people who live in San Mateo and are not aware of the relationship. And I'll pause here. Okay.
I'm sorry, Norma. We're just standing by for the very loud but impressive UH-1H Huey helicopter. You want to continue with that?
I was just referring to the passion that I acquired through the years, and it just became stronger and stronger as I built relationships and traveled back and forth to Fort Campbell. And I've just been honored and blessed by that relationship and the position I held as liaison to be able to do that.
Once again, there goes the UH-1H Huey helicopter. And Norma, continue with the communications there as the liaison.
So as I was a liaison from the city of San Mateo, the FRGs were liaisons to the soldiers during their deployment, and also the go-tos for the representing the 140, 150 men that had families. So if the women who stayed behind, the wives, the families of the soldiers who stayed behind, had any situation, they would go to the FRGs for assistance. Through the FRGs, I was also able to find out what the soldiers actually needed, if there was a need for something more than something else during their deployment, and that would vary depending on where they were. So they were my source of communication because I was unable to communicate directly with the soldiers, but they were my liaisons.
Right.
And I met many of them through the years when I visited Fort Campbell, and a lot of times I worked with them without ever meeting them before, and it was very special when I finally got to meet them after working with them during a deployment.
And you were able to run into some of them today and communicate with them a little bit?
None of the FRGs that I worked with in the past have visited during this trip, but there is one company commander that I met when the troops were going to be deployed the second time to Iraq. It was during a visit that I made to Fort Campbell with Linda Patterson and a group of other representatives from other cities that also were liaisons, such as I was. And the company commander had just been appointed, and he was going to be deployed to Iraq, and that was wonderful because then he knew about San Mateo. I was able to introduce him to the relationship and tell him about it. So I also got to see him when he came back, and he led the company for 2 deployments to Iraq. He is now living in Washington, and I've kept in touch with him. He has since married, and he has 2 children, one on the way. So it was wonderful to see him.
Building and continuing those relationships.
Yes.
And Norma, thanks for sharing that with us. We look forward to more of those types of stories and insight to your experience as we continue our coverage of the 40th anniversary celebration here in downtown San Mateo on this MCTV production. I'm Kenny Milch alongside Norma Gomez, and we are right off Ellsworth and 3rd Avenue in San Mateo, and they're getting set to begin the parade festivities, and or continue them rather, as we had the flyby by the UH-1H Huey helicopter kicking things off. And what a great way to kick off this parade celebration. The streets are filling up, a lot of high energy, and all the kids waving their flags. And you know, this weekend celebration has not only started this morning here on this Memorial Day weekend, Sunday, May 27th, 2012, but it started with an airport welcome and a celebration banquet last night.
That was fabulous. It was just so exciting to see all of the soldiers, and then also the representatives who are also liaisons to companies that they have adopted from Hillsborough and Burlingame were there. So it was just a joyous evening and a celebration for the past, the present, and the anticipation of the continued relationship in the future.
Must have been great to dine with the Screaming Eagles, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And then, of course, after the parade, they're going to have a festive barbecue in Central Park with activities for the kids, of course, like camouflage face painting by the troops, scavenger hunt, a tattoo table, twisted balloons, and more. They're also going to have a dunk tank. as well as Write a Note to a Soldier, which I think is a very special activity that not just the kids will be able to participate in, but also parents and just families and community members of San Mateo. Live band music, of course, to entertain everybody. They'll be able to get up close and personal with a Huey helicopter, which is nice. Tree planting ceremony and much more. And tomorrow, of course, will be the 71st annual Memorial Day observance. So a lot of things going on other than the flyby and the entries here in the parade.
Yes, and the timing of this event and the opportunity for the community to learn about the story and the adoption if they hadn't heard about it, or to meet the troops, is perfect because the troops will be redeployed in several months, and the connections that the community will be able to make with them will truly make a difference. I am sure that relationships will be established, and the support that the community will provide during their upcoming deployment will be fabulous.
Now, typically, before a deployment, how much notice do they give? I mean, is there a certain amount of time, or sometime is it a moment's notice?
No, there's several months that take place.
Okay.
They go to special training. Their families are also trained or prepared for the deployments.
Speaking of training, there was the Screaming Eagles boot camp. Did you hear anything about that this weekend?
Yes, but it was at 7 a.m. yesterday, and I didn't participate in that, unfortunately.
A little early?
A little early.
Do you know what kinds of activities they were doing in the boot camp? Was it just, learning how to march and
I'm not familiar with that activity.
A lot more based on fitness is what I'm hearing from our fine director in the truck, Randy Sahai, and also Jeff McGinnis working in there, and Emery and all the camera crew. And we thank MCTV for coming out and getting this whole production ready, and the communication and support of the city of San Mateo, and allowing us to announce this parade. It's a special occasion, and I know we're certainly proud to be a part of it.
Yes. My first exposure to the letter writing and sending the care packages occurred during Desert Storm, and we were advised by Linda, of course. She no longer lives in San Mateo, she lives in Southern California, but she was always there to guide me and advise what needed to be done. And so we received the roster of the names of Alpha Company, and usually a company comprises of about 140 to 150 soldiers. Some of them are single, some of them are married. They're all male. Alpha Company has never had a female soldier. And we get suggested items, the list of suggested items. At that time, the internet wasn't used very much, so it was our communicating through the mayor's office via mail, sending out huge mailings to the community, putting out press releases, just giving that information to the community that our adopted sons were going to be at that point. It was the first deployment, and that they should contact the city clerk's office for a name of a soldier, because those were not released in any other way other than by a phone call or a personal visit to our office. And we gave them their address, and we provided the list of suggested items that they might send, or just a letter. And the community responded every time. I was just proud every single deployment of the community support. And even if a soldier just received a letter, that made their day. I remember one soldier telling me that just having his name called at mail call was sufficient. He didn't even care if there was anything in the envelope, but just that having somebody call your name was very special.
Because you're so detached, and sometimes that's all you need is just a letter, maybe a paragraph or something, and see the name of a loved one, and it just warms your heart, and I guess it rejuvenates you to some point to continue doing what you're doing and know that you're missed and recognized and appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very touching. And it looks like, and sounds like, with the sounds of the sirens that coming down the street here on Ellsworth Avenue, is the beginning of the parade. 60 entries today, and we're going to be starting off with entry number 2. Of course, the helicopter was entry number 1. This is the 1957 Plymouth Belvedere police car. And the Plymouth Belvedere, which was the official vehicle driven by the San Mateo Police Department in the late 50s, was purchased by volunteers of the San Mateo Police Department in 1988 and restored with donations from local businesses. The restoration of this historic police car was completed in 2000 by now retired Officer Pete Snodgrass, who is riding in the car today. The vehicle is being driven by none other than our own beloved hardworking Chief of Police, Susan Mannheimer, and also on board is Deputy Chief Callaghy. So there you have the 1957 Plymouth Belvedere police car. And you can see the driver, Chief of Police, Susan Mannheimer. Also on board, Chief Callaghy. Car completed in 2000 by now retired Officer Pete Snodgrass, an old Plymouth. Next up, the San Mateo Firefighters Association restored and San Mateo's first pumping motorized fire engine, Engine 1, driven today by Fire Captain Jeff Burrell, who spearheaded the restoration effort. Joining Jeff is San Mateo's very own Fire Chief, Dan Belleville. You know, this engine was found rusting in a junkyard in Los Gatos in 1989, and with time and hard work, you can see the beautiful condition she is in today. There it is. We just we're looking once again at the Plymouth Belvedere police car, an up-close and personal look.
What a beautiful restoration job on both vehicles. San Mateo is so blessed to have the leadership that we do with our department heads. We have the most awesome police chief that anyone could imagine, and fire chief, and their deputies as well.
Here we have the San Mateo Police Department Honor Guard. The San Mateo Honor Guard was established in 2002. The role of the Honor Guard is to represent the San Mateo Police Department at ceremonies honoring law enforcement officers slain in the line of duty. Let's take a listen to the San Mateo Police Department Honor Guard.
Oh, here they are.
And there you see the Air National Guard of the West Coast.
Wow, it brought tears to my eyes. I recall when I went back to Brentwood, the city of Brentwood is very close to Fort Campbell, and they gave the troops returning from their second deployment in Iraq a welcome home parade. And during that visit, I took my son because I wanted him to feel what I couldn't describe. Just that feeling of love, entering into a bubble of love. People that we didn't know, some of them we did, but mostly we didn't know, but they were just so grateful for what San Mateo residents had done. And there's Linda Patterson, the most awesome lady I know, and whom I'm proud to call friend.
Very emotional out here today. Yeah. 101st Color Guard, troops from Kentucky passed by, and the 101st Airborne veterans have now gone by, and America supporting Americans. And Blue Star Moms have just passed by. Bay Area Igniters Car Club now coming by, entry number 11. The Bay Area Igniters are a family-oriented car club based in San Mateo. They actively participate in the building, running and showing of these classics at the show. It's a shot of some of the cars there. A 54 Ford Crestline Victoria, several 65 Fords, and a 1971 Dodge Dart Swinger to take you back to the days of our first parade. Along with the car club is Fred Loveland's Wounded Warrior 1934 Ford. The 34 appears throughout Central and Northern California, also Nevada, at charity events and automotive shows in order to raise awareness and promote fundraising efforts that assist our wounded soldiers and various veterans programs. The 34 also serves as a Patriot Guard support vehicle and was part of a motorcade escort on Friday for our 101st troops. So once again, the car club, the Bay Area Igniters Car Club. Now, some of these engines are pretty loud, even though the cars may be old. They're still pretty loud and strong in stature.
They sure are.
Boy, those first few entries went by so fast, so you didn't get an opportunity to give them their proper due, but it was quite impressive as the color guard came by and some of the war veterans and the moms.
Absolutely. I'm reminded of the first time I stood in front of Alpha Company headquarters at Fort Campbell, and I couldn't believe I was standing in front of that building and I was going to meet the members of Alpha Company for the first time. One of the first things that I noticed, however, following the first and second deployment was that the true heroes are also the wives who stay behind.
Oh, yes.
And the families, because their husbands are gone from 8 to 10 months at a time, and they are in charge of the families. They lead the families, and not enough focus is given to them.
Well, we certainly are recognizing them today, and I think everybody knows that the backbone of any family, a good soldier, or athlete, or whatnot, is the mom or the wife, and so we certainly give them their just due today. And currently, the San Mateo City employee veterans representing the city of San Mateo, two of our honored employees, Deborah LaPalme and Pat Rosenthal, proudly driving the veterans car is employee Daryl Davis, and that, of course, is entry number 12 as our Memorial Day festivities continue here in downtown San Mateo. The 40th anniversary celebration, the Screamin' Eagles. And next up will be our entry number 13 and 14, the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 464. You can see the emotion as you look up close at some of the faces, especially of the veterans or the family members, as it brings out so many memories, so much history behind this celebration. It's almost indescribable. I saw you feeling it there for a moment.
Yes, I was. I brought along a letter that I received from the fiance of one of my escorts on my second trip back to Fort Campbell. And I won't read all of it, but the letter reads, "My name is Olivia. I'm engaged to Lieutenant Bork. I really wanted to write and thank you for all the wonderful times that you hosted for Daniel while you were at Fort Campbell. Daniel spoke so well of you and your friends. You really made an impression on him. I want you to know that your kindness and understanding of his military lifestyle touched him and really helped him in these uncertain times. Daniel has never had such warm regards towards his choices to serve in the military. I love that you care and that your care and generosity helped strengthen his faith in his choices to serve his country and his citizens. Your brief time with him helped him understand that there really are good people out there who respect his choices and appreciate his service. For that, for you, I am eternally grateful." This was written in May of 2007. I carry this letter with me in this briefcase. This family is now in Germany, and they have 2 children. So I'm still in contact with it. One of the blessings that I have received.
Many of the stories and the letters, you know, we're just talking about the emotion and how these events live on. It's everlasting. It's just once it's in you, it never leaves.
That's true.
Very special moments and special
Okay,
letters
yeah.
once again coming through here in downtown San Mateo at the Operation Eagle Visit 40th anniversary celebration here at our MCTV coverage. Once again, I'm Kenny Melch alongside Norma Gomez, and Norma is sharing a lot of her wonderful stories and experiences.
Jerry Hill.
And hear those. So the city of San Mateo has put on this production today on this Memorial Day weekend, Sunday, May 27th. The Steve Warren Memorial, once again, Chapter 464, now heading by. Marching proudly today is San Mateo County-based Steve Warren Memorial Veterans of America, which represents 65,000 members of the Vietnam veterans and their families. They salute the city of San Mateo for honoring their founding principle of never again will one generation of veterans abandon another. And if you happen to be a Vietnam veteran, you're invited to join the unit, march with them. You can be recognized for your service to America. And of course, all of us say thank you. As we now have approaching our entry number 15, the VFW Post 4103.
There's Smokey the Bear.
Smokey the Bear. CAL FIRE, State of California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. San Mateo entered into an agreement in 1962 to provide the municipal fire protection within the unincorporated areas of San Mateo County. They operate 5 Type 1 ALS engines and provide emergency response to the citizens of San Mateo County. Joining Smokey the Bear are a couple of fire apparatus engineers and firefighters. The second engine is from the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, which serves and safeguards the people and property and resources of California. The San Mateo Santa Cruz unit operate 12 state fire engines, 1 bulldozer, and 1 conservation camp. CAL FIRE wants to remind you to be fire safe.
And that tree.
That is the Arborwell Professional Tree Management, entry number 19. Their most experienced production manager, Chris Plimpton, from their Peninsula office, driving the Arborwell crane in support of the 101st Airborne, carrying a native redwood tree. There you see that redwood, which has been donated to the city. Following the parade, this tree will be planted in Central Park to replace a very old tree recently struck by lightning.
I believe they're going to dedicate that planting to the soldiers, but I'm not sure. So that might be the tree.
That would be special. Another car club. This is the Morgan Car Club of Northern California, entry number 20. There's a look at they drive away. They're not comfortable, they're not practical, they're not even weatherproof, but they are a wonderful driving car with a closeness to the road. Up next is going to be entry number 21, the American Soldier Freedom Riders. The American Soldier Freedom Riders mission statement is to welcome soldiers returning home, to honor the send-offs, and to honor the fallen at memorials, mounted on horseback, holding the American flag. They chose the horse carrier of burdens with stamina, mobility, strength, and power. Horses cope under difficult circumstances as well as provide devotion, loyalty, and freedom. Not so different from a soldier. Freedom Riders, however, are founded in December of 1910. We're talking about over 100 years ago. Entry number 22, Duty Calls. Nation's trusted leader in pet waste removal, followed by what we're looking at now, the Warriors Watch Riders, all a volunteer group that are both veterans and patriots. Some ride with motorcycles and some in hot rods and cars. They escort the troops when they come home, any day, any time, any weather condition.
Wow, how impressive.
They escort the fallen, any branch, any rank, as well as family members. Never again will an American warrior be scorned or ignored. Warriors Watch Riders is a nationwide organization. And at the flyover this morning, at the beginning of the parade, many of you saw the Huey helicopter. And that Huey helicopter will forever remain the iconic symbol of the Vietnam War, especially for those that rode one into and out of battle.
I wonder if the Warriors would give me a ride on the motorcycle a little later.
Looks fun. Absolutely. Entry number 24, I believe, is the San Mateo Lions Veterans and a Lions Club, 2004. And up next is the American Red Cross, the humanitarian organization that serves to provide relief of victims of disaster. We know, of course, how much the Red Cross does. Unbelievable organization.
Yes.
Never getting enough credit. We certainly thank what they're doing out here today.
You know, when Linda Patterson rode by in her vehicle with her husband, I just didn't say enough. She not only campaigned for the original adoption in 1968, but she continues to unite troops with cities and sports organization, and she's made it her life work. She is a tireless warrior, and her husband is just as fabulous as she is.
There's the UH-1H Huey helicopter, Chief Pilot Ray Murphy. Great shot. That was over at the staging area and the marshals, and taking a close look at that, and that really takes you back to what's happening in our military. And great shot there of the Huey helicopter.
Motorcycles.
More of the Warriors Watch Riders driving by.
The Lions Club has also been very supportive of our troops through the years. They've conducted letter writing campaigns and always willing to help out.
Chartered in 2004, the San Mateo Lions Club, with members of the District 4C4 ranging from San Francisco to Palo Alto. President of the San Mateo Lions, Lion Michael Chan, driving the lead car. All members of the Lions Clubs, part of the Lions Club International, the largest service organization in the world with clubs in 204 countries and 1.4 million members strong.
Wow. Go Lions.
San Mateo Lions Club welcomes the 101st Airborne Screaming Eagles back to San Mateo. Of course, they support their communities and all of humanity.
This is such a Memorial Day. It's wonderful.
There really isn't any place that you'd rather be. And right here at the parade, San Mateo, this anniversary celebration of Operation Eagle Visit is now moving along to entry number 25, the American Red Cross. We spoke briefly about them being a humanitarian organization that serves to provide relief to victims of disaster. And furthermore, it has evolved over time to empower communities to prevent, prepare, and respond to disasters and emergencies. And today we have the Bay Responder, a major emergency response vehicle used in large-scale disasters as a Red Cross float. And alongside the float is the team of Red Cross supporters. There are volunteers, staff, youths, and donors who make up the foundation and driving force of the American Red Cross.
Department of Veteran Affairs. Huh.
Peninsula Veterans Center, happy to join us today and saluting all the veterans. And they provide outreach services for the Peninsula Vet Center in Redwood City, Santa Cruz, and Capitola. And there you have a look at entry number 27, the Army ROTC Battalion, University of San Francisco, USF Reserve Officers Training Corps program, founded and formed in 1936, and for the past 76 years has trained cadets to commission and serve as second lieutenants in the United States Army. The Dons Battalion has an enrollment of nearly 90 cadets and commissions 15 to 20 lieutenants each year.
You know, I've recently read about the challenges our troops are facing as they complete their tours of duty. I am a member of the board of Shelter Network, and it's an organization that helps the homeless. And they have shared information that the numbers of veterans that they are serving have doubled during the last year. So it is so important for us to continue to support our veterans, even if they have left the armed services. And never forget.
Support is always in need and always appreciated. We just had the San Mateo County Fair Junior Fair Board pass by, and coming by now, entry number 29, the San Mateo County Horsemen's Color Guard Unit entry, honoring the 101st Airborne Division. This is from Woodside, California.
Beautiful horses.
Gorgeous. Unit honored to carry these flags as symbols of the great nation. The Honor and Remember flag is a symbol of recognition, a visual emblem of honor. By flying the Honor and Remember flag, we say to our fighting men, women, and families that we as Americans will never forget their contribution and sacrifice for their freedom. Welcome home, 101st Airborne.
Absolutely.
From the San Mateo County Horsemen's Color Guard Unit.
And who is,
Duty calls once again. Entry number 30. They'll be in the park after the parade. Their Care 9 trauma kits, followed by the Asaya Shriners. Asaya Shriners International supports the Shriners Hospitals for Children, a one-of-a-kind international healthcare system. 22 hospitals dedicated to improving the lives of children by providing specialty pediatric care, innovative research, and outstanding teaching programs.
This is a wonderful organization that does so much for children.
Since 1922.
Wow.
Significantly improving the lives of more than 865,000 children.
Thank you, Shriners.
Something about the sound of those bells it kind of starts to get you inside. You know, it helps bring out the warmth and support that everyone's feeling out here today.
Yes, I agree. You know, during the last deployment of our troops, they were in Afghanistan. It was a very difficult and different situation from their deployments to Iraq. They were located and split up in 3 different locations, and they would be spending the holidays there in Afghanistan. So the city of San Mateo again began their campaign to make sure that they would receive something from the city before the holidays. And so we started the campaign, sent numerous letters out into the community, again, press releases, information on the website, and had the community drop off whatever they wanted to send or money to City Hall or the fire stations. And I don't think I've ever seen the community come together as much as they did during this last time.
That's what it's all about, coming together as a community. Communities like these all across the nation as we see the Peninsula Roller Girls roller skating by. Peninsula Roller Girls, a skater-owned and operated league dedicated to the promotion of female empowerment, physical fitness, fun, and community engagement. You can see their 2 home teams, the Damas de los Muertos and the Psychopathogens, battle for victory on June 8th at the Redwood Roller Rink in Redwood City. Boy, that was a mouthful. But, of course, we support the Peninsula Roller Girls. And up next, the Recology of San Mateo County. Of course, they're proud to participate and help sponsor Operation Eagle Visit. They've been in the recycling and waste collection industry for over 80 years. Happy to provide collection service to San Mateo and to be a part of the San Mateo community.
And we have more horses.
Yes, beautiful. The Mounted Patrol of San Mateo County, led by their award-winning color guard. The Mounted Patrol was established in 1942, 4 months after Pearl Harbor, to assist the military in patrolling the undeveloped coastline of San Mateo County on horseback. Today, the all-volunteer unit supports the community in many equestrian activities and events, as well as the Sheriff's Department. The 62nd Annual Woodside Junior Rodeo will be held later today at the Mounted Patrol's facility on Kings Mountain Road in Woodside. Youthful competitors from across Northern California will be vying for top honors in traditional rodeo events. Another duty calls entry going by. And up next here, the San Mateo County Historical Association. This 1961 Crown school bus restored for the Historical Association by one of their board members, Phil Reiser, who grew up in San Mateo. He has converted the fuel system so that the bus can run on vegetable oil.
Oh, very clever, Phil.
Very well done, Mr. Reiser. Okay.
Oh, and we have a lot of children on bikes.
Yeah, this is a special entry here. The San Mateo Parents Nursery School, a nonprofit cooperative school owned and operated by its members. This year, the school is celebrating its 65th year. Teachers and families of the SMPNS pride themselves on being a diverse community dedicated to fostering the learning and growth of children and adults. Actually, in the parade, the children are wearing tie-dye shirts that they made at their school. Parade has actually become part of their curriculum in the last few weeks. Preschoolers have been learning about parades and community. And the Mid-Peninsula Girl Scouts making their way by.
What a turnout of children.
Girl Scout daisies, Girl Scout brownies, Girl Scout juniors from several troops in San Mateo and Foster City. followed by the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts of America. From the Pacific Skyline Council's Redwood District, 9,000 scouts in the county's council. San Mateo, of course, is rich in scouting tradition with over 600 scouts. Going by the Adoption on Wheels from the Peninsula Humane Society, SPCA.
And the dogs.
Yes, very cute. I have a St. Bernard that as soon as I got dressed, brushed up by me, wanted to say hello this morning.
Oh, no.
And dog hair all over me, but
but you love him.
I love him, yeah. A little bit of drool, never hurt. So the Burlingame San Mateo 4-H Club is making their way by as we're looking now at our monitor at the USO, United Service Organization, widely known as the USO. They have a mission. The USO lifts the spirits of America's troops and their families, which they have been doing for more than 70 years.
Bless them.
They support the deployed troops and their families, wounded warriors and their families, and of course, families of the fallen. This is the Los Troncos Woods Community Marching Band. Let's listen to them. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Yes, and their costumes were very clever and unique and fun.
Oh, yeah. They were started back in 1960. Been marching continuously in parades all over Northern California. That band sounds great. Here is the 48 Voiture, number 393 of San Mateo County. And then the American Legion Post number 82, founded in 1919 to help the veterans returning from the war. The largest wartime service organization committed to mentoring youth and advocating patriotism and honor. Members of the American Legion Post number 82 have filled the cars you see today. They have their own Cub Scout pack. Also have an American Legion baseball team as well.
You know, it's wonderful that so many of the organizations that are represented today have existed for so many years. They continue to be strong. That's fabulous.
Oh, 1919, we're hearing about over 70 years celebrating, and up next will be the Sons of Union's Veterans of the Civil War. And speaking of so many years, formed in 1897.
Wow.
The Welcome Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War, San Jose's Phil Sheridan, Camp number 4. As we continue to look at San Mateo Post number 82.
You know, the Northern California Division of the 101st meets in San Mateo once a year in December, and I've had the honor to attend their breakfast meeting for 10 years now, and we are hosted by that American Legion Post based in San Mateo.
That's great, once a year to get together. Sometimes you wish it was more than just once a year.
Yes.
All those reunions, celebrations, it's just a great time had by all. Cute little train going by, and they're followed by the Mid-Peninsula Boys and Girls Club. Been in existence once again since 1953.
There you go. And more firefighters. Burlingame. You know, the Mid-Peninsula Boys and Girls Club provides such wonderful activities and a location for youth after school.
Very important, keep our youth busy as the Central County Fire Department service ladder truck, purchased by the city of Burlingame in 1930 for $10,000.
Oh my goodness.
It's a 1930 Seagrave Suburbanite.
It's a beautiful truck.
It is.
And did you see those ladders? They were very different from what they look like today.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah.
It was Burlingame's first piece of equipment to provide a large complement of ladders needed for the growing community.
Oh, we have more doggies.
More dogs. San Mateo Parks recognized. Looks like we're going to have a short break in the parade, at least by roll-bys, and as this parade, the staging area over off Baldwin is traveling down Ellsworth past 2nd and 3rd and is ending over on 4th. And boy, looking forward to that barbecue picnic after the parade is over.
Yes, how exciting. I believe the firefighters are going to barbecue for us. They're very well known for their barbecues.
Oh, yeah?
They do a great job.
Do you have an idea what they're making today?
Probably hamburgers and hot dogs.
What else would you want on Memorial Day, right?
Perfect menu. Sounds perfect to me. I was sharing regarding the community's efforts of support during their last deployment in Afghanistan, and we received so many items. We filled rooms, and we had to hold packing parties. And then at one point, we had 50 boxes, and I had to make special arrangements with the post office. I just couldn't show up with 50 huge boxes and get in line, so the post office in San Mateo was fabulous, the one on Delaware Street. So I called the staff and made arrangements to come in at a specific time. Park and Recreation Department staff had the boxes delivered. I met them. And when one sends packages to our troops, you have to fill out a customs form for each box, and it who it's going to, where it's sort of like a FedEx air bill.
Right.
And then you have to list each of the items and how much they weigh. So if you can imagine, for 50 boxes. But we were so excited because these were the boxes that had been prepared so that the troops would receive them for the holidays. Perfect. And I'll pause now so that you could introduce the next.
Well, yeah, and a comment about that, it makes it that much more special, the feeling you get in helping organize the boxes and going through that, just to help support our veterans and to make them feel good. We talked about earlier what a great feeling it is for them just to receive anything, much less the specially packed boxes. So thank you certainly for sharing that. And this is entry 53, Kiyonomoto Lu, the Japanese classical dance established in the U.S. in 1994. And for over 18 years, the group has been performing to spread and promote these teachings, as well as bridging the American and Japanese cultures. And we got some nice music playing.
Yes, and beautiful dresses.
Beautiful.
Oh, there's our police chief again. Oh, and look at those two beautiful dogs.
Yeah. Now, are those poodles, or they have this new called Goldie Doodles that are really special? They're like a breed of golden retrievers and poodles, I think.
And our San Mateo County Supervisor, Carol Groom, just went by, incognito.
Special day as entry number 55, the San Mateo Police Activities League is going by.
This organization does such great things for our youth.
Developed in '97 by a small group of police officers and members of the community. They operate as a joint partnership between the City of San Mateo Police Department and the City of San Mateo Parks and Recreation Department. There's an American Medical Response ambulance. Military Jeep vehicle there.
Oh, and a hot rod. 4 cars. I wonder where
I believe
this
that's an old
collection-
Corvette. Susanna Taylor,
Oh,
PAL board member.
Police Activities League.
And Pam Frisella, Foster City Council member.
I'm wondering what type of car that is.
Robert Ross from
Oh,
the City
there he is,
Council
yes. One
And
of our San Mateo City Council members.
in an old Bel Air.
Ah, here's
Beautiful
another
car.
council member, Jack Matthews and his wife Patricia.
In a Roadmaster.
It's beautiful.
Roadmaster 15, I believe that says over there.
I'm not good with faraway vision. I can read very small print.
Yeah, my eyes are going bad, my old age myself.
That reads Susan Mannheimer, Chief of Police, but I saw her walking. She's not in that car. I wonder that she must have entered.
Well,
Mayor-
sometimes it's funner to just walk, and you can kind of go at your own pace and really get a feel for the parade viewers. And again, this is just a glorious day.
The weather's perfect.
It is. It's not hot. It's not raining.
Not raining.
Some of our crew members were worried about the rain. Certainly has not come today.
Brad Grotti and his wife Kathy in this car.
It's an old LaSalle, I believe that is. Beautiful cars.
Cars used to be so long.
Jerry Deal, Burlingame Mayor. In the troop viewing stand on 4th Avenue, we have with us retired Colonel Nat Landis, who served in World War II in the European theater as part of the headquarters battery and A battery of the 997th Field Artillery Battalion, 5th Corps, 1st Army. Spent 6 months in England prior to D-Day. So many stories, memories to celebrate today.
San Mateo Deputy Mayor David Lim and his family just went by in that black Cadillac. And this is another San Mateo City Council member, Maureen Fresquet, and her parents.
That's special. In an old Nova, riding with your parents, being recognized. You know, you're watching this, and the more time you spend here, you understand, you realize how necessary something like this is for the efforts and the bravery and the dedication, the heroism that these military veterans have provided for the USA over the many years.
Absolutely. This is so important. And I'm sure that the troops that visited San Mateo and are here on this trip are just so excited and grateful. Hey, Susan! That's our city manager, Susan Loftus, my former boss.
It's amazing how many people you know out here, Norma. This has just been a homecoming of sorts for you, as well as a celebration. And you know, as the parade is wrapping up here on this Memorial Day weekend, May 27th, can you give us some final thoughts of what this means to you, and of course the city of San Mateo, as well as all the attendees and the veterans here on this special parade?
Well, this has been such a special moment for me to have been asked to be here with you. I am honored and humbled and excited, and there are so many feelings that I feel. One of the most wonderful compliments that I have been paid by the members of the original company when it was first adopted. He's here, Rick Smith, and he called me sis, that I am one of their sisters. And I thought, wow,
Right.
that's the most wonderful compliment I could get after all of the years. Um, I told you earlier that when I heard the story, I was converted and I have a passion for this effort, and I led the baton and I led the torch, and now it's been handed over to Patrice, who was in charge of all of these activities. She led the committee. There were a lot of people that participated, but she led this effort, and I feel so wonderful that the torch has been given to the perfect person. I know that she will carry on with the passion that I held all of these years.
Well, it certainly brought out the emotion of everybody in attendance today, as well as us here in our booth. And it's been a pleasure to announce and describe what has happened here in downtown San Mateo. And we want to thank, on behalf of the city, all the volunteers who came out to help prepare and organize the streets of San Mateo and lending their community to this special celebration. The police officers, the fire department members, all the military personnel that have come out. And it's been a glorious day. It went off without a hitch. The flyby was wonderful. The cars, the horses, there was just so much to see. And as we wrap it up, I want to thank you, Norma Gomez, for giving us all your experiences and insight. It was that much more special having somebody here with us explaining the details and helping us get behind the scenes and feel what it's like to experience what our troops have experienced. And I thank you, and it's been a wonderful day.
You're very welcome. It was my honor and pleasure.
Okay, so that's going to do it for the 40th anniversary celebration, Operation Eagle Visit. Again, we thank our crew here. On behalf of San Mateo, for Norma Gomez, I'm Kenny Milch. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.